Hi guys, Luis here. Welcome back to the channel. Um, I was checking in on the marigolds and I started watering them. I did pick up a new gallon jug of Alaska fish fertilizer today, or fish emulsion. And I was like, let me just get this done. But then my ADHD brain started thinking, well, I should do this, I should do that. And so I said, you know what, screw it, let's just get the camera. Or essentially my phone. So this is the Cell Pod Mini. This is the planter and everything. Yeah, like 99% of the time or 100% of the time, it has this thing on it. This is the greenhouse portion. I do have the one where it's like a netting for the summer or whatever. Anyway, so the marigolds I started about 2 weeks ago. I've got like 3 or 4 that have come up. I'm thinking it's because the inconsistency with the heat and all that. And we're supposed to get rain tonight, which is probably the reason I'm out here to check on everything. The reason it has that extra piece sticking out there is because I bottom watered with the fish emulsion, and I also put some on top, and so that section there is not really all that level. So then I also started a bunch of seeds. I then started feeding everything here. I do have some tomato plants still. I started feeding with the fish emulsion. And then I realized that some of these trays, like I haven't been able, or like a lot of this is just like old seed. Because I told you guys in multiple videos that I'm kind of done with the whole seed hoarding thing, and I just want to get them done and get them processed and get them growing at least. And so what I started doing is I'm just taking these out, dumping them in here, and I'll probably just use the soil to either mix it up with some worm castings that I still have, mix them up, and maybe start some other seeds. Although I don't know what other seeds I need right now. But I do have stuff at the plot. I do have space at the plot for when the radishes come out and the beets start coming out and all that. And I also got some seeds from the Dollar Tree that it's 3 packs for $1 or $1.50, I think. And so I wanted to try some of those. And I've read and I've seen other videos of people doing it, and the stuff does grow. Partially I just want to get filler stuff just to get the stuff filled in and get the garden plot filled in. Not so much at home, but really just at the plot. So I did get some bush beans. I got some basil. And I can't remember. There was like one other thing that I got, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. I added it to my current seed, like the newest stuff that I've just bought. So I do want to start some bush beans and some 6-packs or maybe even the 4-packs. Oh, that's with the marigold drain over there. But I definitely want to get all this stuff cleaned up, because if it hasn't sprouted at this point, it's been like at least a couple weeks. Granted, the watering hasn't been all that like on a current basis, or rather on a consistent basis. Anyway, it hasn't been on a consistent basis, but a lot of stuff should have come up by now if it's going to come up. And this week is supposed to be in like the 70s-ish. And so I don't know how much stuff of it is actually going to grow. And just to give you guys an update on these beans, on this corn, the Luther Burbank corn, none of it has come up. It does look kind of dry right now just because I haven't watered it, I think since like yesterday. I'm not quite ready to give up on this one yet. Everything else is kind of done. And I have a bunch of plants left over, but they're not looking all that great. And I think I have enough cucurbits going this year that I'm going to be fine without these. So I'm going to go ahead and set you guys up on a time lapse. Well, essentially, I'm just going to clean all that up. These here. And then basically everything. The only thing I might actually just keep is going to be those, which is that Christmas flower I keep forgetting the name of. Some peppers. 1 container of basil because I've planted most of it out. And I got about a dozen tomatoes. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those. So I might give them away to friends. Or I might just squeeze them in here somewhere to do some kind of like experiment. Anyway, let me set you up. Alright guys, I hope you can see me pretty well because the light is basically in my face. So let me show you the only things I've got left. I cleaned up all this stuff. I did save the tomatoes, peppers, I think a few other things, but it's not a whole lot. I am leaving the Luther Burbank corn. I'm gonna give it a nice little watering here, but it's not gonna be a massive soaking, because again, it's supposed to rain tonight, just to kind of get the soil wet up on top. But that's gonna be it on this one. I'm learning that I should just shoot everything as far as content, and then that way you guys can decide whether or not you like it. And if you prefer something, please let me know. Anyway, hit the thumbs up, comments, subscribe, bell for notifications. And I think that's it. Catch you guys later. Peace.